Oh, clipping. Clipping, clipping, clipping. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope your day's going well. I hope you have a nice weekend planned, whatever it is, whether you're going out and having fun or doing nothing and relaxing. We continue the journey through hip-hop this Friday. We continue our October spooky theme with clipping. There existed an addiction to blood. One thing I've been talking about recently is I'm not going to go into albums totally blind anymore. I'm going to read just little snippets here and there. Last night I was looking at Wikipedia about clipping and just kind of learn about the guys a little bit. I guess the two producers who are William Hudson and Jonathan Snipes. I guess they went to school together and stuff, and they made up with David Diggs shortly after, formed the group based out of LA. Experimental hip hop. I don't know much else. I know that this is what was somebody saying, kind of dark and similar to maybe a veteran experience or something along those lines. I was looking at the track listing. The album itself is 15 tracks, an hour 8 minutes, but the last track is called Piano Burning, which is 18 minutes long. And I was looking at the notes here on Genius for it. The song is an instrumental, and it all ends with a piano burning, a performance of a piece written by avant-garde composer Ania Lockwood. Yes, it is the sound of a piano burning. So, I don't know if there's actual music there. I might just skip that. I don't know. I'm planning on listening to it, but I might actually chop forward a little bit. If it's literally just a piano burning, I'm not going to sit here for 18 minutes and listen to that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll ruin my reaction by ruining that track, but that's down the road. I don't know what to say. I'm excited. I mean, a lot of people have been recommending clipping throughout this journey through hip hop. They did the production for the track Blood in the Water off of Backxwash's album. Oh God, not It's Dark. That was DMX. God damn it. It's right on. Here I Lie Buried with My Rings and My Dresses. I've been going through a lot of music lately. Between albums on Fridays, EPs on Mondays, and doing 10 tracks from new artists on Thursdays for the live stream, I'm hearing a shit ton of music lately. So it's getting harder to just remember and keep track of everything. But anyway, enjoyed the production they did on that track for Backxwash. Let's jump in. I'm excited. I'm very curious to see what this all sounds like. The first track is called Intro. Here, let me close out this. All the production, I looked already ahead. I looked at just the production. All the production's done by clipping. So it's the two guys whose names I just forgot because I closed the window. Anyway, let's drop into the intro here for There Existed an Addiction to Blood. I do have the understanding that I guess a lot of these lyrics are kind of over the top. So this is horrorcore and crazy lyrics, over the top lyrics. And so that might be difficult for me to settle into, but I'm coming into it with a frame of mind of don't take this seriously or literally. This is just more of an artistic expression, not someone telling a story. And they're not even, from what I understand, from what people have said, not even necessarily trying to be edgy, edgelords or anything like that. They're just, this is a specific way of doing lyrics for whatever reason. Anyway, there you go. Lots of mumbling there. Pointless. Track one's called Intro. Clipping. First time hearing their work, aside from that one guest production on Backxwash's album. Let's drop in. Track one, Intro. Holy shit, it's already going way fast. Huh. I wasn't ready for that at all. I do remember seeing something saying that he's very fast. And I was like, oh, okay, he's fast. And so I knew that, and then I was not mentally prepared for that. This is I like that there's no music. And I like that the audio is backed off. This is already setting a great tone. What the fuck is he talking about? Mag like you don't remember the cash and the money. The mad dash after the ball had dropped. Dolphin turned tail on you right then, and the water was hot. Boiling oil, separating all the good stuff to the top. Yeah, okay. So when you boil, yeah, it separates. Dolphin turned tail on you right then, and the water was hot. Dolphin turned tail. I don't know about that one. And then the bottom fell out, and the bodies hit the floor. Same old bare face and body while you come payrolling. Everybody rocking that halo back in the day, but they know, say no more. The ghost of bitches and chickens come home to roost. And every stitch that was put in this hitch got thread that's connected to the truth. That's a great little line right there. Every stitch that was put into this hitch. So stitches and thread, you know, connecting like a woven thing, connected to the truth. And demons seeking freedom out here weaving the quilt. So that continues that line right there. And there may even be some meaning gleaming in the streets that they built. On top of dead bodies in the olden days when the pen was a quill and blood was the ink upon which all the scary stories were built. So a quill is different from the pen in the sense that you write with it and you have to periodically refill the quill. So that's an interesting section right there. And blood was the ink. So imagine taking your pen and you're writing, but then, you know, if you're using a quill, it dries up. So then you have to go get more ink for it. So when you're talking about scary stories being built with blood, like you tell an experience of something that you did that resulted in bloodshed, and then that experience dries up, and so now you got to dip into more blood, maybe. That's pretty wild right there. How you like and love and join to a meal and think that there would be the end of the deal. Huh. Fucker, the real. They are real. Skinwalker. Don't give a fuck how you feel. What's a skinwalker? In Navajo culture, a skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Okay. Okay. So he's saying, fucker, they're real, skinwalker. And the way it's got commas, they're calling a person that, skinwalker. So somebody that disguises themselves. Don't give a fuck how you feel. They eat pieces of meat like you for breakfast, so deal with it. The steel ain't shit. Moon is full, your silver chain is beautiful. Is this like a reference to guns? I mean, the silver and the moon, yeah, sure. Werewolves. Oh, man. I'm way out of my league right now. And you the fool who never seen the light of day anyway. Any day anybody could pass. Monsters out here just as passionate as men out for cash. Bloodsucker ain't even a big enough figure to give a fuck. The trigger's up, cross your heart, give it up. Okay, well, there you go. I have no idea. But let's keep rolling. So there's 10 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be dead sound, but I'll let it roll into the second track to see if there's a transition here. Second track is called Nothing Is Safe, and here we go. This is going to be an experience. Trippy. You know, with the end track being 18 minutes of a piano burning, it's interesting that it starts with just a piano. Cool.
Everyone safe and sound, this our family do. Only homies around, everyone here is crew. Something foul in the air, something feeling askew. Wind is in the pipes, it's that whistle calling for you. Don't holler, it's cool. Windows boarded and sealed, doors are bolted and locked. Product cooking on pace, weaponry fully stocked. Boss believed didn't know when something was coming, but it creeping on the come up, now it's right up in your face. Face it, let it resonate up in your bone a minute. When you shiver, make a sliver big enough for it to have a space.
Jesus.
Ripped, life, slipping away, maybe you can make it out with just a little bit of grace. But it truly doesn't give a fuck about the fear you feeling. It is here to make you understand that nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is safe. Nothing to pray for. Nothing is safe. Nothing is.
I'm gonna let it keep rolling.
Nothing is.
Oh, cool.
Really had to summon what was coming. Cool. On the come up, now it's right up in your face. Face it, let it resonate up in your bone a minute. When you shiver, make us live a big enough for it to have a space. Ripped life, slipping away. Maybe you can make it out with just a little bit of grace, but it truly doesn't give a fuck about the thing you're feeling. It is here to make you understand that nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is safe. Nothing to pray for. Nothing is safe. Nothing is.
I'm just gonna pause right there. I wanted to let it build, you know, because I could tell it was gonna do that. This is kind of neat because I'm glad I knew that the lyrics were more of written from like a almost like a fictional perspective, like a storytelling fictional on purpose perspective. Because this is neat. This is neat. I can sit back and just enjoy it strictly from a storytelling aspect and not try and like weave extra shit into it or question if it's real or not. Like this is just a story for the sake of telling a story. From what I understand, I might be wrong. There's a lot. Well, okay, so let's see here. There's not necessarily a whole lot to get into. I was going to say there is, but not necessarily. I mean, they're just setting the scene, right? Windows are boarded up, doors are locked, products cooked on pace, weapons fully stocked, bodies are sleeping in shifts. You know, so they're at this house. Obviously, there's a lot of people there. They're cooking up, presumably drugs. They got their weapons. You know, everyone's. It's a known location. It's well protected. They're expecting people to try and hit it, so they're ready for defense. Right? They're ready to defend the place. Drop the lights, so drop low. Something shot from the trees. Right? So went straight through the front door. Homie drops to his knees. So the guy gets shot in the neck. He's bleeding out all over the floor. No one summon what was coming. Now, but it creeping on the come up. And so I think this is a reference to Bone Thugs. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this EP here pretty soon. I haven't listened to it, but I'm aware of the title of that EP. Now it's right up in your face. Face it. Let it resonate up in your bone a minute. When you shiver, make a sliver big enough for it to have a space. Ripped life slipping away. Maybe you can make it out with just a little bit of grace. But it truly doesn't give a fuck about the fear you're feeling. It is here to make you understand that nothing is safe. That's a pretty cool pre-chorus. And it drops to nothing is safe, nothing is sacred. Cut the lights and stay low. All is quiet and still. Peering through the window, staring over the field, scent of death in the air. Close the homie's eyes. Now's not the time to be feeling. Furniture up against the walls. They cut the lights in the hallway. I'm assuming everyone understands that when it's dark outside and you have your lights on inside, it's very easy to look inside. That's why you always turn the lights off. If you feel like there's an issue outside, then they can't see in and they don't know where you are. And then this one part is kind of neat. Phone that no one should call starts ringing. So there's this inside line, and you know, whoever it is, right? Everyone looks over to it. Then the walls split from the outside. Cold air rushes in. It's cold as fuck. I like this line. Bullets slapping like hail. More homies struck down. The mission has failed. Wood splits and splintered. Chandelier falls. This is fucking cool, man. This is really neat. Really neat. And I like it. I'm enjoying it just for the sake of it being, you know, almost like a not a graphic novel, like an audio novel, I guess. All right, let's keep going. Verse 3.
Death is coming for you, but you already knew that. Thought the click up brought you some safety up in this pack, but that didn't add up. Back up, stand up, strike a pose. What you got up, that's what they like, you suppose. They go rack up, stack up, that stuff that you stole. But the fact of status wrapped up in black coat caskets cannot be ignored. Long ago you saw me, what was coming, it was creeping on a come up. Now it's right up in your face.
Wow.
Let it resonate up in your bone a minute. When you shiver, make a sliver big enough for it to have a space. Ripped life, slipping away, maybe you can make it out with just a little bit of grace. But it truly doesn't give a fuck about the freaking feeling. It is here to make you understand that nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is safe. Nothing to pray for. Nothing is safe. Nothing is.
Cool, man. There's still a minute left. I'm just going to pause right there. There's still a couple seconds. I'll see if it transitions in the track 3. I'm kind of surprised with the end of the track. I was assuming there'd be a little bit more production and kind of going out, but no. And so it makes me think, what is the artist's intention there? And I wonder if it's just it's the idea of trying to create this feeling of it's constantly looming out there somewhere. Because, right, musically, that's what I was waiting for, right? I was waiting for the beat to come out and get me. And if you pair that idea with the story being told about it's dark and, you know, somebody snipes through the door, but you don't know where the shot came from, and you cut the lights and you're looking around through the window, and you don't see anything, and all of a sudden these bullets come through, like all of a sudden it's on you. And so I feel like the ending of this track is an idea of it's just out there, it's waiting to pounce, but you don't know when it's going to pounce, and then right then it just never does. This final verse, death is coming for you, but you already knew that. You already knew death is coming. And so maybe that's really what it is. The music is the idea of death coming for you. Thought the click up brought you some safety in this path. I can't. It's incredible how they can get this flow, but then I can't read it. Basically talking about, you know, you got all these people with you, you know, your posse or whatever the hell you want to call it. Everyone's armed up and you thought, okay, we'll be good. And no. Wrong. Caskets cannot be ignored. Running so fast should have had an award. Homie's got gas for cash from that score. Y'all could have made a dash just after one more. So he foot up on the gas and smashed around the corner. Only one man was sent to the coroner. Wasn't part of the plan, but damn, that fast foreign whip was too quick to flip and fast forward. The past smashed every wall, pillar, and floorboard. Ashes to ashes, dust in the lung. Fire now on everything. Gasoline been poured. Huh. And then there's this section here. Something about how he walks reminds you of someone. You look and see a gun, a man with no face, a golden halo that could have been the sun. And it's annotated. So here, let's see. Narrative describes a faceless figure with a gun staring down at a wounded person on the floor. Okay. The figure that the narrator describes as being reminded of is an angel. Typically, angels are described. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is just, they're just kind of guessing at it like I was going to guess at it. Huh. Interesting track. This is kind of cool. And then you get into the final chorus. They changed it up a little bit. You know, it was creeping on a come up. Now it's right in your face. Well, actually, I think they said that in the first chorus too. Huh. Let's see what this is. Okay. All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to track 3. This is cool. This is a neat intro. This is a neat like path into the album here. Track 3 is called He Dead. It's featuring Ed Balloon. Cool. Cool.
Protect your body. They want to take your body. They want to hurt your body and put it in a coffin. Cause they don't think you matter. Oh no, they want to take your power. Oh no, and make you even lesser. Oh no, and add you to the number.
I like how it's building. The background is building.
Let them get close. Before they destroy ya, can you feel it everywhere?
Cool.
Oh, he dead. Can you feel it everywhere? Oh, he dead.
How fast can them bare feet run? The answer is barely, isn't it? But you can't stop for the pain. Pop another oxy, swallow and hit the bricks. Follow the plan, you know all the tricks. Fire escape to the roof. Stay low, stay low, stay low. When they screaming out murder, they looking for you. They always looking for you. Why the fuck they always looking for you? Surely somebody must live without stiffness, ice in the spine. God, you been running, so gotta keep running. So and-so told you about so-and-so's cousin. They got him and there wasn't nothing left for her to identify. Disappeared in the blink of an eyeball. Bounce man, bounce man. Oh, he dead. Lost and found man. Oh, he dead. Used to be this girl around the way. Oh, she dead. Looked up to God and you pray. Oh,
This
he
is
dead,
fucking
or she
cool,
dead.
man.
What they say, you got loose. Do not stop, do not dwell on the past. Use a fool, you got legs, best to use them. They hunters are packing, they packing more firepower than you ever imagined. The pack on your back rattles back and forth, no slack, go faster. They masters are trapping, and you just a trapper who went for a master's and dropped out when it didn't matter no more. Your body, your work didn't embody, body embodies, and watching them pile on the floor. So what them books got you but dreams of everything lost?
I'm just gonna pause it real quick. I wanted to say earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt the verse. I want to listen to this in the dark. You know, right now it's fucking 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. You know, it's sunny. It's a beautiful day. I want to listen to this in the dark already. I want everything black, and I just want to like turn up my speakers big time. This is fucking cool. It's really, really interesting so far.
Can you feel it everywhere? Oh, he did. Don't let them get close. They're screaming at murder. You gotta be cautious before they destroy ya. Don't let them get close.
Fucking killer. You know, the production is perfect, I feel like. It's very, especially with the way Nothing Is Safe ends, and it's got the beat, just kind of like that piano, and everything's suspended. And having this idea of it's death hunting you. And then you roll into He Dead, and it's talking about you got to be cautious, don't let him get close to you. And, you know, people around this guy are getting killed, and he's running and all this other shit. But the whole beat behind it, it's just very dark, very ominous. It's very surrounding, you know? So you can kind of feel yourself as this character who's trying to duck death, basically, but it's everywhere. It's just oozing into every space and every corner and from above and I mean, this is fucking really cool. Really cool. Hardly any of these lyrics are annotated. There's one part here at the very beginning about they want to take your power and make you even lesser and add you to the number. So let's see what's. There exists a modern-day 3-5 compromise. Through the 13th Amendment, mass incarcerated individuals can be legally forced to work. Okay. Okay. Maybe. You know, I'm not saying that this is wrong here, this idea of, you know, they want to capture you and put you in prison so that you work as slave labor. But I don't... Protect your body. They want to take your body. They want to hurt your body and put it in a coffin because they think you don't matter. Because they don't think you matter. They want to take your power, make you even lesser, and add you to the number. Don't let them get close to screaming out murder. You've got to be cautious before they destroy you. Don't let them get close to screaming out murder. Can you feel it everywhere? I don't know if I agree with that annotation just because I don't get this idea of it's the cops coming to take someone prisoner and make them work slave labor. This is more of a death. Now, maybe I'm just on the wrong wavelength, and maybe they're discussing more of a death as like a death of your freedom, the death of your spirit because you're imprisoned and all this other shit. But God, you'd be running, so gotta keep running. So-and-so told you about so-and-so's cousin. They got him, and there wasn't nothing left for her to identify. Disappeared in the blink of an eyeball. Bounce man bounce. He's dead. Lost and found. He dead. Used to be this girl around the way. Oh, she's dead. Look up to God and you pray. Oh, he dead. This is death hunting. I don't feel like this is like the justice system or the legal system coming to put people in prison. This is death. So I don't really agree with that annotation there. This is a great line. This ain't a knife to a gunfight, but more twig to a tank. That's a great line. They say these bullets hollow. Holler if you feel the same. Say you need bullets silver. Holler if you got a chain. This line is interesting, and I don't really know what it means. Then this breeze makes you shiver. Holler if you feel the pain. Maybe it's just cold outside. You know, the molar is throbbing insane. Must be about to rain again, so it's cold. It's stormy. The older you get, the less game they ought to be breaking in. They like the meat fresh, so just stay alive, young man. Feet to the road again. Echo of boots on the pavement is palpable off of the buildings. They're closing in. They hunt as a pack, and they're packing more firepower than you ever imagined. Okay, so this could be the cops chasing somebody down. That's fair in there. The pack on your back rattles back and forth. No slack. Go faster, go faster. They're masters of trapping. You're just a trapper who went for a master's and dropped out when it didn't matter. Your body of work didn't embody body in bodies. Great line right there. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. All right, let's keep going. I'm really interested to see where the hell all this shit... There's 12 seconds left on this, and this rolls into Haunting Interlude, which then rolls into Mala Ordina, if that's how you pronounce it, with a bunch of features. Rita, we got Benny the Butcher, El Camino. So I'll let He Dead play out. I'll roll through the interlude, which is Haunting, and then we'll drop into track 5, which is Mala Ordina.
After I had moved into my apartment 2 weeks, I awoke with hands around my throat. This went on for 1 week. My radio played when not plugged in. I heard someone run across my attic floor. I saw my tufted rug appear like someone was walking on it. I heard my name being called, and when I turned to look, I saw my brother. So who was really trying to kill me? Not my friend, but Satan. Why? I didn't know.
So I'm just gonna, this is great. Dude, this is so fucking great. I'm so glad we did this for October. This is perfect. I just want to pause to say that I believe in paranormal stuff. But when I say that, I don't believe it in the sense of like heaven and hell and evil spirits. I believe it more in the sense of layers of existence. You know, so we've got what we consider to be alive, and we've got what we consider to be dead, and all this stuff. I don't think it's that simple. I think there are layers. And so, yeah, I think there are. I mean, it is a fact. It's a fact that our sensory ability is limited. We can only see certain wavelengths of light. We can't see radiation and all kinds of form of energy. We can't hear certain sound waves. You know, our perception is limited by our sensory ability. And so when you then take that and you start coupling it to ideas that exist within science, like with fucking quantum physics and dark energy and all this crazy shit, right? There are layers to existence, and we exist with our senses and you know, our perceptions. We exist within a layer. We're not aware of everything that's around us. We're just not. That's a fact. And so when you hear these stories, right, like what we call hauntings or spirits or demons or whatever, I feel like it's layers that are kind of, the lines are bleeding over a little bit. Anyway, there you go. This is fucking cool. Let's finish this one out. Here's track 5. I love how patient this album is already. They're not in a hurry. They're just, let's make something that's moody and atmospheric, and let's just build on it. I like it a lot. Great fucking sound. This is so cool.
The bags on the table ain't for weight, they for body parts. Victim skin stretched across the wall, call it body art. Bodies for the pile, bring them out stacked on a dolly cart. Yeah. Anybody out there ain't on drugs yet, they should probably start. The horror show was so whack. You said you'd never go back.
Synth
standing
right there.
over the
Holy
stove
shit.
talking about you really know crack. Crack is what a skull do. Yeah. So if someone getting brain, that mean it was nice to know you. The spinal fluid to go to thicken the pot, to click out in the whip. Whipping a snot out of submissive till he shit blood. You thought they was digging a thought.
40 on my lap, that's the heat package. I'm from a hood where we beat rappers. These pussy ass niggas. We way too grimy, we don't see rappers. See y'all niggas. They supposed to be street, but really be actors. I really be with the jackers. The ones that be clapping shit and pistol packing.
That. Oh, that's synth.
Really
fucking amazing.
Cocaine selling with 60 in they mattress. Stack, nigga, and do it with passion. This how these bitches be doing they lashes. I hate niggas that sit on they asses. Always asking, but they making shit happen.
Rolex, dial studded, feds in my town flooded. Put another chain on my neck, then I'ma drown from it. El Padrino and the El Camino.
This is
if
bitchin'.
you bitch, get a job switch and sell what's legal. We might smile ear to ear, but you can tell we evil. These rap niggas dye their hair just to sell some singles. The Butch.
Rock, paper.
So I gotta pause it right there because I gotta pause it somewhere. I'm enjoying the shit out of this, man. The production is fucking brilliant. It's great. It's great. And Benny the Butcher's, that verse right there, especially in the back half of the verse, the second half where that production, that synth really comes in. God, it mixes so well. And it was cool. I don't know if it was like a piano part at the beginning there, but it's fucking neat. There was, with El Camino's verse, he's got this line in here, right? They're supposed to be street, but really they're actors. And that made me think of what was early, let's see here. Here we go. Talk about your life's a movie when the parties start, but you ain't pick a genre. That was hardly smart. The script was shit. Your third act really drags. The structure fall apart. Here comes a fixer clipping limbs to serve them a la carte. And so I wonder if that right there is a reference to the idea of these rappers who aren't street, they're fake. It's kind of this idea of the artist creating basically a persona of themselves to sell as an artist rather than being who they are, which is clearly a example of being fake. But even more so, it's almost like you're turning yourself into this character. But here, we're saying the script was shit, your third act really drags, the structure falls apart. The horror show was so whack, you'd said you'd never go back, but you're standing on the stove talking about you really know crack. Crack is what a skull do. So if somebody getting brain, that means it was nice to know you. So I feel like in this verse, David is just basically, playing the role of this crazy, murderer, psychopath, torturer person, right? El Camino, I like this. I'm from a hood where we beat rappers. We way too grimy. We don't see rappers. It's supposed to be street, which I was talking about that already. Cocaine selling was 60 in the mattress, and they do it with a passion. This is how these bitches be doing they lashes. I hate people that sit on their asses, always asking, but they ain't making shit happen. That's a great, I feel like everybody on the planet can connect with that. I hate people sitting on their asses, always asking, but ain't making shit happen. Get out of my way, I'm crafting. And then Benny the Butcher had a good verse too, man. Hope you people could jet, because you're dealing with a rapper that can smoke contenders for recreation, for fun, right? Real dope boy, I cook coke and interval stretch diamonds right out of a pot, everything invisible set. Trunk got pies in it, disappeared in 5 minutes. The plug took the team where we'd never been, like Kawhi Leonard, the basketball player. I don't know anything about basketball. Put another chain on my neck, I'm going to drown from it. This is annotated here. A possible reference to the ending of Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, where Jason Voorhees gets a chain wrapped around his neck and sent to the bottom of Crystal Lake. I don't want to criticize too many of the annotations. I know I do that all the time, right? I always talk shit about the annotations. But I can understand where some of them are coming from. I don't agree, but I can see, okay, it's a horror album. There's a reference about drowning from a chain around my neck. Here's a horror movie where that happens to the character. Okay. I think that's a fair attempt. I think it's a bit of a long shot, but I can at least see where some of these annotations are coming from. We might smile ear to ear, but you can tell we're evil. These rap individuals dye their hair just to sell some singles. Good line. Very good line. All right, let's hear David's verse here. Verse 4.
Ice pick, nice trick, no homonym. Cutouts from a magazine, make letters for your mom and them. Who remember arts and crafts? These killers is artisans with an arsenal to elevate your arteries. Start again. Rock, paper, zip tie, that slow burn, that drip dry. The fissures in your field of vision make your world.
Crazy how they shift the quality here.
So when the bubble bursts, you just cry. Laid out on the floor without a tongue, trying to ask why. Rock, paper, gunshot. Classic out in some spots. If you prefer the sweet life, maybe you can die like gumdrops. Smooth and round and melting if you're left out when the sun's hot. This is the preferred method of smart killers and dumb cops.
Crazy. What the fuck? I can't wait to play this for my wife. I'm literally sitting here listening to noise. Fucking amazing. So I am going to pause here to talk about the title of the track. So, because it's called La Mala Ordina. I assume that's how I pronounce it. I don't know. And the title is in reference to the 1972 crime thriller film The Italian Connection. And Mala is an Italian slang word for a criminal organization. Therefore, the title could be translated to mob orders or the mafia orders. Let's read this part. This is just the description of the song. This is the last paragraph. The song reaches a climax where David's final verse is about how this hypothetical rapper is shown the realities of the mafia by falling victim to a mob. The rapper gets tortured slowly and bleeds out, at which point the song slowly devolves into a wall of noise at the end. There's 45, almost a minute left of noise. So there's about 8 seconds left. I'm going to pause it there. Now, this is something I really enjoy doing. And this is a great situation for it because we're literally listening to fucking noise, right? Like nobody can defend this. Like it's so common for, you know, people who don't enjoy a certain genre of music like metal, or if you get really distorted, crazy, you know, rap beats going on. It's just noise, right? This is literally noise. So, why do I get excited about that? Because I like to try and interpret artistic intention. And so, there's a minute of this shit at the end of the song. They did it on purpose. They did it for a reason. So, what's the reason? You know, why would you do that? Why would you just have this crazy, distorted thing? And so, I already forgot what the description at the bottom said, but let's just read this last verse. Maybe we can pick it apart. You know, rock, paper, ice pick. Nice trick, no homonym. Cutouts for a magazine, make letters for your mom and them. I love that line because that's that whole thing, right? Where you write the ransom note, but you don't use your handwriting. You cut out the letters from different magazines and paste it on there so that they can't like track your handwriting or some bullshit, right? I don't even know how that trope came to be, but who remembers arts and crafts? These killers is artisan with an arsenal to elevate your arteries, raise your blood pressure, right? Start again. Rock, paper, zip tie, that slow burn, that drip dry, that fissures in your field of vision make your world a fisheye, that's a great line too, because a fisheye lens is a very wide angle lens where you can see all over the place, right? So your field of vision, if it's a fisheye, you're looking everywhere. You're always on the lookout. That round edge, make it worse, or when the bubble bursts, you just cry. Laid out on the floor without a tongue, trying to ask why. Okay, so he's dead, he's not dead, he's captured, tied up, zip tied, tongues cut out. Rock, paper, gunshot, classic out in some spots. If you prefer the sweet life, maybe you can die like gumdrops. Okay, so, you know, gumdrops, the candies, they got different colors, so using different colored dyes there. It's a little bit of play on words. Smooth and round and melting if you're left out when the sun's hot, right? Just like gumdrops. This is the preferred method of smart killers and dumb cops. Rock, paper, paper cut. Take them out to get tapered up. Tie them to the chair and hope something's big enough. And this is where the music just devolves into total, you know, digital destruction, right? So the lyrics get choppy. To make a meal or make a martyr, make a man today or what? And let him know the dealer's had enough. So maybe this whole wall of noise, maybe it's supposed to represent the idea of being so you've been captured and now you're zip tied and your tongue's cut out and so you can't, like, I don't know, talk or whatever. Maybe that's the idea. The person's being tortured, and this is the digital representation of the intense pain and agony of that torture. Maybe. I don't know. That's kind of what I get from it. You know, does it add to the song? I think to an extent, if you're willing to take the time to try and make those connections. You know, is it necessary? I don't know. There's probably another way to do it. It's maybe a little bit more effective or maybe a little bit more easy to understand. But I like the fact that they just said, fuck it, make a wall of noise and leave it on there for a minute. See how many people listen to it. Oh, man. All right. So we got a little bit of noise. Actually, I think I'll back it. I might back it up just a tiny bit. And we'll roll into track 6, which is called Club Down. Great. Again, great sound right here. I love these guys and how they've got this great, like, synthetic presence. Dark, thick. Yeah. It reminds me of Lustmord, honestly.
Turn up, lights off, they done shut the club down. Shut the club down, shut the club down. Turn the lights off, they done shut the club down. Shut the club down, shut the club down. The schoolyard reeks of sewage, broken pipes, broken promise. The thin man staggers lucid for this time of night. Drying vomit dangles from the beard, step mumble, shuffle trip, but the trajectory is clear. He's headed for the covered steps. Tut tut, it looks like rain. He remembers A.A. Milne each time the sky's this kind of gray. That are his favorite film, Gene Kelly leaping Technicolor through the fray and feeling glorious. The story is an allegory for his days, but night is coming now. They long for the sleep like they mortal, these zombies, but they got this portal in their minds and the molecules get rewired. Every trip they taken through time and they tripping nightly. The blacks of the eyes igniting, the pits in the backyard biting, the cats in the trash can fighting, the feeling of guns peeling like bells in a telltale reeling of bodies losing they feeling and falling down, and the ceiling is black from the smoke that's rising. The scent is just so enticing. Descent is a small price for the right to live out your vices now. Turn up, lights off, they done shut the club down. Shut the club down, shut the club down. And every night after the club it goes down. Plenty more rounds, bodies on the ground. But the shit has got to balance on a barrel of a gun. All the money in the world ain't gonna stop none of that gangsta shit. That gangsta shit. The whole world loving that gangsta shit. Can't change the shit, it's dangerous.
Fucking wild.
But really ain't nothing to a gangster.
So what are they going after? Club Down. It's all about the club being shut down. I'm just gonna work through these lyrics here because this is fucking fascinating to me. Turn the lights off. They shut the club down. Okay, yeah, sure. Schoolyard reeks of sewage, broken pipes, broken promise. The man staggers lucid for this time of night. Drying vomit dangles from the beard. Step, mumble, shuffle, trip. The trajectory is clear. He's headed for the covered steps. That's got to be the club, right? Tut tut, it looks like rain. What's the annotations here? A junkie staggers, zombie-like, down the street, compulsively seeking out his next score, even while he's covered in his own vomit. All this just reinforcing the grotesque horror of a rotting inner city. Okay. But the covered steps is interesting to me because I think of a club entrance. You know, you've got it's the front and then there's that little covered portion for the entrance. That's what I think of. So I'm surprised there's nothing talking about that specifically. And then tut tut, it looks like rain. The only thing I have no idea if this is right or not, but I thought of like King Tut, like the Egyptian, you know, and then thinking of like walking like like an Egyptian. And so I wonder, or not like an Egyptian, I'm sorry, but of a mummified king, you know, like a zombie. So that, you know, obviously they're kind of creating this image of a zombie, but more like the old school zombie, or what do you call it? A mummy. I'm sorry, a mummy, not a zombie, a mummy. He remembers A.A. Milne each time this guy is kind of gray. I don't know who that is. Possibly a reference to the poem The Island. And there would I rest and lie, my chin in my hands and my gaze, and gaze at the damsel of sand below. Okay, all right. That is his favorite film, Gene Kelly. But night is coming now. Vials snap, aluminum sounds, fibers slap as drops descend on tall cans. I don't know what that is. Fibers slap as drops descend on tall cans. It's all hands on deck to chase the pain away. Okay, so that's drug addiction in a nutshell. Dealers rocking parkas with plenty of pockets for products, sure. The money whore is the logic. Babies holler from colic, right? So babies, if you're drug addicted and your baby's colicky, you don't fucking care. You're not going to pay any attention to that shit. The symphony is tectonic. It shifts as the earth is settling. Precious metals are mined, and a million mines have been meddling with time in the hopes of getting a golden noose for the neck. That's a really interesting phrase right there. Golden goose from a fairy tale shitting Fabergé eggs. Fabergé eggs being the really fancy thing. the egg, really expensive. I don't know why those things even fucking exist. They serve no purpose other than rich people to show off how much money they can piss away on stupid shit. Okay, I don't really, yeah. Some of these annotations, they're reaching a bit. Which I would know, since I reach all the time, right? So I'm going to call myself an expert on reaching. So therefore, I can justify my disregarding other people reaching. Here, the snitches shit bricks, then quick to talk pig Latin, right? Which is just backwards. Probably to try and get out of it every time they get caught. That black dart too slick for that kid tapping a window while looking over his shoulder. Stop looking over his shoulder. What is this? Oh, paranoid character. I don't know what that means. That black dart too slick for that kid tapping a window. You're never caught from behind as long as you keep moving forward. They long for the sleep like the mortal, these zombies. But they got this portal in their minds, and the molecules get rewired every trip they're taking through time. And they're tripping nightly. The blacks of the eyes igniting, the pits in the backyard biting, the cats in the trash can fighting. So I think what he's talking about here is just the portal in their minds and the molecules getting rewired. That's every time they're hitting the drugs again, right? Every night. They're tripping nightly. The blacks of their eyes igniting. So they finally, they get that surge, that drug rush. The feeling of guns peeling like bells and a telltale reeling. I don't know that one. Of bodies losing their feeling and falling down in the ceiling is black from the smoke that's rising. The scent is just so enticing. So they're kind of like in a crack, I'll just say a crack house, for example, right? They're all in there smoking. The smoke is rising. Descent is a small price for the right to live out your vices now. But what's going on with the club? Turn the lights off. They've shut the club down. And every night after the club, it goes down. Plenty more rounds, more bodies on the ground. Oh, okay. So maybe they go to the club and then they go get fucking high. Here's what the annotation says. A brilliant play on words here, with Diggs using the same words for club, after parties, and partiers dropping drunk while also talking about people getting gunned down in the streets, hitting the highs and lows of the gangster life all at once. And every night after the club, it goes down. Oh, sure. Okay, that makes sense. Plenty more rounds, bodies on the ground. Yep, I agree with that annotation. Very well said. I'm glad I read that one because I missed that. On Broadway or Main Street, they all stumble out to a dozen pairs of hands pulling bodies from their mouths, or bottles from their mouths, hardly. Hotties hardly walking now. Everybody's passed out in the backseat of the taxi, so they never heard a sound. And then there's this whole chorus. It's the city, and the city you only see one. It looked all pretty when it all begun, but the shit has got to balance on the barrel of a gun. All the money in the world ain't gonna stop none of that gangster shit. The whole world loving that gangster shit. Can't change the shit, it's dangerous, but it really nothing to a gangster. Alright, let's keep going. We're halfway through the track. I'm gonna let it finish up.
Bitch, what you know about that? Don't act like a newbie. New D-boys get jacked. What you need is a new jet swing and a new toolie. Discerning taste for the bass like a foodie. Harmony's coolly high when it's on its step. Stepped on dope is a safety net, and the dope fiends cry, but they don't regret. Everyone get high, go out till they turn the lights off. They done shut the club down. Shut the club down.
Fucking wild sound.
Shut the club down. Why you fighting all the shit that make the world go round? World go round. World go round. Turn the lights off. They done shut the club down. Shut the club down, shut the club down. Got the 20s and the 50s wrapped up under all the ones. 2 for 25 or 50, you can move a couple times. You can put it in the blood or you can put it in the lungs. But whatever you call from, remember that it all begun with that gangsta shit, that gangsta shit. The whole world loving that gangsta shit. Can't change the shit, it's dangerous, but it really ain't nothing to a gangster.
That sound that they're using with all that like screaming and noise in the background, it reminds me of a track by Ministry. I don't know the name of the track. It's the final track off of the album Psalm 69. It's wild. It sounds similar to that. It reminds me of that. This track reminds me of that track. You know, this is the track is called Club Down. And you know, the phrase, the term, the title "club down" just makes me think of somebody just beating somebody down with a club. Okay, so there's that. And then you've got these lyrics that are obviously lashing out against the gangster idea, the gangster, I don't want to say lifestyle, but what's being maybe presented in gangster rap. You know, there's a lot of talk about drug dealing and all this other shit. And, you know, there's this line in here earlier about he's got the parka, so there's plenty of pockets for product. And, you know, people are coming out of the club and they're hitting that shit up. And there's junkies that their lives are fucking ruined. Their molecules are being rewired. And I almost wonder if this is like just an indictment against that type of music specifically. Not even necessarily making fun of it, but lashing out against it, you know? Especially with the music. The music that's going with it is very angry, very upset, very grotesque. And maybe I kind of get that feeling. I feel like maybe David or maybe the entire group has this opinion about that kind of music being enjoyed and celebrated, or maybe not even necessarily celebrated, but enjoyed without really thinking about the real life scenarios that are playing out all over the country, if that makes sense. You know, how can you dance to a song and be into a song that's about selling drugs when there's just millions of people whose lives are being ruined by drugs, you know? Interesting track. This is a fucking wild ride so far. This has been very... Somebody in Discord said this might beat out my veteran experience, and we're on the right track. I'm not going to say whether I'm feeling like this is a more intense journey than veteran, but there's a competition that's existing right now. So the next track is called Prophecy. It's this track 7. It's an interlude. I'm going to play through that. Looks like it's just an instrumental, so there's nothing to really do there. And the next track, well, let's just play this and maybe I'll end up talking about it. Here we go. Here's Prophecy interlude. Right now, all I'm thinking about is club down and the anger, the rage, the violence that existed with that, and then it drops into this. And so what's the artistic intent there? And there was also that haunting interlude, the woman talking to the tape player about all these crazy things happening in her apartment, right? I can hear flies, which is something that's typically associated with, you know, an evil presence, right? What's that movie where all the flies are just surrounding that window? I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm going to pause. There's a couple seconds left. I'm going to pause right there. I'm just trying to take haunting and prophecy, and I feel like there's something forming in terms of the album right now. But let's keep rolling. Next track is called Run For Your Life. It's like different audio clips.
Hollywood to be in Hollywood. Shh. You done did it now. Heard the dope was good and well, a hood's a hood. Fuck. Shh. You gon' get it now. They said she gon' get you right. They said she got all the juice. They said keep her happy though, or she be coming after you. But shit, you get invincible when you get high. And them sticky fingers never stop to wonder why.
Pausing it right there because this is great. I was thinking, well, it's weird that there's no beat, but it's not. You've got all these sounds, right? It's just somebody like hiding in an alley. And I feel like the lack of beat is the same idea or sensation of when you're scared and you're trying to hide and you don't want anybody to hear you. But when you're in that situation, all you can hear is everything. And it seems like the whole world is so loud. And like when you shift your weight, the whole house is creaking. And, you know, like if, you know. So I feel like that's what's happening here in terms of a lack of a beat, especially when you have these lyrics going on about, well, shit. This person's in Hollywood, heard the dope was good and well, a hood's a hood, done gonna get it now. They said she's going to get you, right? They said she got all the juice. They said keep her happy, though, or she'd be coming after you. But shit, you get invincible when you get high, and them sticky fingers never stop to wonder why. So sticky fingers, he stole something. Went to the hood to get some drugs, took the drugs. Now he's invincible. He can do whatever he wants. Stole some shit. Now you're sprinting by that fish market to make it to summer, right? So it's as in to survive, to just keep living, because summer's a couple months away, we'll assume. The blood in the ears is drumming. The heart is a cable jumper. Great fucking line. The brain is flipping the language. The lungs are probably toast. So this person's been running. Heart's pounding. They can feel the blood pumping. Everybody who ever stopped running is now a ghost. You ain't seen them headlights in a minute, so it might be cool. So this person stole something, was running. There was a car that was chasing them. Stop tripping, stop tripping, stop tripping. Not giving the visions a minute to make a move. Let's go. This is fucking cool. It's really cool. They're painting the picture so well.
Ho, get it right. Get out of sight. She on the street. Run for your life. Don't you know that she ain't afraid to shoot?
You ain't scared, is you?
You fucked up and she coming for you.
You ain't scared, is you?
Ho, get it right. Get out of sight. She on the street. Run for your life. Don't you know that she cut you for fun?
You ain't scared, is you?
If she coming for you, better run.
You ain't scared, is you?
Fuck it, it's too dark to see. Cannot cry and can't be weak. It's a code of honor, gotta keep it gangster in the streets. OG, OG, Jesus. Slap that coupe stuff.
I love how they're using these passing sounds of vehicles on the street going by as just a very slight structure for the beat. It's fucking brilliant. I think it's brilliant. It's so fucking interesting, man. I mean, is this song? This song has almost 1 million listens. Are they ever gonna play this in the club? No. I mean, no one's gonna fucking at the start of the football game put on "Run for Your Life." Like this is never gonna be the kind of track that blows up, right? But it's just cool that there's a group of guys willing to say, you know what, fuck it. We just want to make something we want to make. And who cares if it's going to be popular? It's different, it's interesting, and it's just fun to listen to. Now, am I going to put this in a playlist? No. But the experience I'm having with this song is so unlike, if I put on a fucking track by, Christina Aguilera or something. Although she's a great singer. I mean, she's great. I'm not trying to put her down. But just like some general pop song that you hear on the radio. This is so much more interesting, and I'll remember this versus the track I've forgotten 100 times already.
It's legit, the killer, the murder, the bitch they love to hate. Yeah, you try to run, but I caught you, it's no escape. Burn up both your legs with your head, but yeah, your mouth I rate. Throw your garbage ass in the dumpster, and now shit on your grave. Blood, I'm so addicted to blood, I'm cutting your body up. Never know your name, your remains is scattered through the mud. Yeah, they should've warned you to chat, bitch, man, she don't give a fuck. Put you in the ground and relapse, go dig your ass back up. Ain't no word I hide, I'm psychotic, you haters gotta die. Schizophrenic, bipolar, bitch, I feed my bitch your wise. Drama queen, I'm bringing the drama, don't fuck with me, I hunt you. Cut you up like me, take your kids, a very tasty luncheon.
Ho, get it right, get out of sight. She on the street, run for your life. Don't you know that she cut you for fun?
You ain't scared, is you?
If she coming for you, better run.
You ain't scared, is you?
Huh. Cool fucking track. It did end up developing into having some nice production in the back. I was wondering if it was just going to stay almost as spoken word the whole time. I have loved the production throughout. And I'm getting a lot more used to David's style as well. That's a cool track. The only question I have about that is this character that's running, is there a story that's being told? I feel like the album has an idea of a story, but I don't know who this character that is running is. So that's the only question that's in my mind. That's not a criticism. It's just something that I haven't fully connected yet. Track 9 is called The Show, produced by Clipping. Let's just drop into it real quick and see where it goes. Trippy.
See how the bone exposed? Nice blood bouquet, trace of marrow. Fuck boy trying to hold his nose, let it drip. One sip, taste his halo. Say bro, why's your skin on the floor? Where's your hair? It's nothing but follicles. That's called a close shave, don't y'all suppose? Trail of toenails left through the snow, but he should know he fucked with the wrong one. Sawed off shoulder, fuck the shotgun. Can't afford top, cat got his tongue, and she might get his lips next just for fun. A blessed refreshment when his breath's barely there to blast his slashed face with fresh compressed air and press his chest just to keep his heart beating. Open your eyes, bitch, you got to see this. Don't know which body part should go first. Spin the wheel, vertigo. It's an art you partake in, and just know you all paid to watch. Let's start the show. Come out, sit your ass down. Don't blink.
Cool.
Don't make a sound. Just
beat
look.
dropping.
It's okay to cry. You live your best life when you watch him die. Same thoughts to basic survival love. Y'all came to see the amygdala, a signal fire in the limbic nerves, and gotta give the kill what the kill deserves. Don't know which body part should go first. Spin the wheel.
I like how the beat goes away.
It's an art you partake in, and just know you all paid to watch. Let's start the show.
This is fucking. I didn't think I'd like this. You know, we're in the lyrics where it's obviously. I guess this would be the horror core, you know, lyrical experience right here. What is this line? Y'all came to see the amygdala. I don't know what that is. The amygdala is a structure in the brain's limbic system which notably processes decision-making and emotion. Viewers can see his brain not only through the opening of the skull, but in themselves as they experience their own emotions watching the show. Oh, okay. Okay. The only thing I don't get is this. So the previous track was called Run For Your Life, and she catches him. And you got this, that I forgot to talk about that line. I relapsed. You know, she's talking about burying him and then relapsing and digging him back up again. But is this supposed to be like a continuation of what happens to that person that stole from her and then got caught? Like, is this the torture scene now? I don't know. Sawed off shoulder, fuck the shotgun. Great little play on words right there. Like torturing the person by sawing off their shoulder instead of using the shotgun. Can't afford to talk. Cat got his tongue. She might get his lips next just for fun. The blessed refreshment when his breath's barely there to blast his slashed face with fresh compressed air. And press his chest just to keep his heart beating. Open your eyes, bitch. You got to see this. So, I mean, this is just straight up torture. Whatever. I'm liking the beat, man. The beat's really interesting.
Over to the edge and look over it. You ain't never gonna fly with all the comfort you're holding, with all of your might. And then try as you might to get over it, it ain't over. To killers say you will know the limits of flesh stretched and eyes bled before they die. You said you had demons to exercise, and cash in hand stand to witness demise. Times come. Killer wants audience advice. Don't know which body part should go first. Spin the wheel, vertigo. It's an art you partake in, and just know you all paid to watch. Let's start the show. Come out. Sit your ass down.
This
don't
little
blink. Don't make a sound, just look. It's okay to cry. You live your best life when you watch them die.
All right, we're moving into another interlude here. This is called Possession. It looks like there's lyrics. I don't know what to make of that song, The Show. I mean, it's a torture show. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's the show in the sense of having somebody else forcing them to watch the torture scene. I don't know. Anyway, let's just roll into this Possession interlude. I'm very curious to hear what this is.
I know it's simply crazy, Dr. Fuchs, but I can't get these thoughts out of my head. These people, they want something from me.
It is called paranoia, Cynthia. I would like to try a somewhat unconventional procedure with you, if that is acceptable. Feel the churning cloud of hate and darkness as it seeps into every cell of every organ, priming them, preparing them to accept into your soul the illusion of the darkness.
So this is a person being hypnotized to then become a vessel for the devil, I suppose. So let's see. I'm just going to back it up a little bit, and we'll continue into the next track, which is called All in Your Head, featuring Counterfeit Madison and Robin Hood. And we'll see where it goes.
This some motherfucking scripture right here, you heard? The good book says and all that shit. You wanna talk about mind control? Just flip a motherfucking song for that ass. Open your hymnal to page 16. It begins with the letter P. And the guy said, let there be light. Talking about showing a bitch she into the tunnel, you understand? You gonna meet your maker. You still owe for that rib. A hoe gotta pay that back with interest.
Cross heart. That's
trippy.
Light rain. Pink coat.
Like in a real way, like like a bitch think what you thought and ain't even know. And if you real about this pimpin', you ain't never pull. Cause pussy and dick stack $1 so quick, you got a motherfucking cathedral in the Palisades off of whole money. Keep up with this game now, you getting it from the source. Bottle and sell it, prohibition or not, pussy make paper play, boy.
Bring that. Big talk. Lay back. Fuck boy. Don't play. Just noise.
This is
No
fucking
names.
great.
Stay wet. Come see.
You know, what's interesting with these two verses with David is that the production itself is kind of breaking apart a little bit, like it's losing its solid state. So you've got this whole thing of possession and allowing, you know, the Dark Master in, right? And then you've got this intro from Robin, this motherfucking scripture right here. The good book says, and all, wait, okay, you heard? The good book says, and all that shit. You want to talk about mind control, just flip a motherfucking psalm for that. Open your hymnal to page 16. It begins with letter P. God said, let there be light. Talking about showing a bitch the end of the tunnel. You understand? You're going to meet your maker. You still owe for that rib. A hoe got to pay that back with interest. It's so... Let's see if I can coalesce what's forming in my brain right now, because you've got this idea of mind control, and now that's being applied to religion and following, you know, God's commands or whatever. And then you've got this idea, more or less, it seems like, of earning your redemption. Talking about showing a bitch the end of the tunnel. You're going to meet your maker. You still owe for that rib. So you don't just get to be free. You have to earn, you owe for that rib. Got to pay that back with interest. And then you've got this first verse, cross heart, die slow, light rain, thin coat, false lash, high heel, real skin, come feel, blonde, false lash as in false eyelashes. Sure. Okay. So this is the person that's dressed up, right? All false eyelashes, high heels, come feel the real skin, you know, blonde hair, red lips, smooth face, tie clips. You want this ass, don't front. The way to a bitch purse is getting a bitch head, and on the 16th letter, a hoe gonna say what you said. Like in a real way, like a bitch think what you thought and ain't even know. So this is a pimp more or less mind controlling the hoe, I think. And if you're real about this pimping, you ain't never poor, because pussy and dick stack $1 so quick, you get a motherfucking cathedral and the Palisades off of hoe money. Keep up with this game now, you're getting it from the source. Bottle it, sell it, prohibition or not. So there's this relation between being hypnotized and, you know, following God versus or doing what God tells you to do, and then doing what your pimp tells you to do. Got hats, bring that big talk, lay back, fuckboy don't play, just noise, no name, stay wet, come see, work hard, get free. It's that good, come more, you should. All right, let's finish this one out. Well, actually, there's still a couple minutes left. This is incredibly interesting.
Don't let the hoe get lost now. That hoe is out of body and that mind is yours to shepherd. Your neck and whistle up like the dome on a motherfucking mind so a bitch can find it in the dark. Be a beacon of hope for the weary and tired. Cause them feet been on the street all night. But as long as they got tithes in hand, the tabernacle gon' shelter you from the storm. Say it loud now. Pimps up, hoes down.
Hoes down.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Get money.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
Deliver us from heaven, Queen and kingdom, carnal inside. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
I like the production build here.
Mysterious ways the spirit moves, but pledging bodies, morning praise. Amazing grace, a sweet exchange. From lost to found of a wretched days. Holy and far, measured and running over. Warm to the touch, it's eternal.
it seemed to be this play on the idea of, my impression is they're basically saying God is a pimp. That's basically what I'm getting from this. I don't know if that's the intent. Bow your head, repeat what is said, lead us away from every temptation, deliver us from heaven. And that comes after this whole idea of, don't let the hoe get lost now. That hoe is out of body and that mind is yours to shepherd. Get your neck and wrist lit up like a dome on a motherfucking mosque so a bitch can find it in the dark. Be a beacon of hope for the weary and the tired because them feet been on the street all night. But as long as they got ties in hand, the tabernacle going to shelter you from the storm. Say it loud now. Pimps up, hoes down, fuck bitches, get money. Hallelujah, amen. Definitely a comparison being made between these two relationships, I suppose. The pimp and the hoe and God and the follower. Very interesting. And then as this whole outro builds, deliver us from heaven. Queen and kingdom, call them inside, glory, glory, hallelujah, mysterious ways, the spirit moves. The production's building, right? It's getting noisier and more chaotic. And so I'm trying to figure out how that music places into artistic expression here. And the music itself was almost to the point of becoming nonsense, right? The beat is building and it's got all these layers of sound and it's very distorted and it's getting louder. And I wonder if that's the idea of amazing grace, his sweet exchange from lost to found, the wretched saved. And that's just clipping saying this is pure nonsense. I don't know. Interesting track. Very interesting track. Let's move on to the next one, which is called Blood of the Fang, produced by Clipping. This one's got a lot of listens, so this one's a little bit more popular. Dropping in track 12, Blood of the Fang. Blood of the Fang.
By the Christians it is written that in the Black Meridian age there existed an addiction to blood.
Drink it up.
So I'm gonna pause it right there because this is a great point in the album to remind me of the name of the album, An Addiction to Blood. The annotation here says these lyrics come from the San Wayman's The Blood of the Thing, Shadow of the Cross, from Bill Gunn's 1973 vampire horror film Ganja and Hess, which explains the vampire mythology of the film. By the Christians, it is written that in the Black Meridian age there existed an addiction to blood among its people. Thousands of slaves were bled to death, but murdered in such a way that the slaves could not die. There was visited upon them a curse that they should live forever, unless the shadow of the cross, an implement of torture, touched their darkened hearts. But since Christ had not come and the cross did not exist, they were cursed to walk the earth until the Christians came. The film uses vampirism as a metaphor for addiction as well as black assimilation, white cultural imperialism, and the hypocrisies of organized religion. Getting fucking deep now. Let's keep rolling.
50 years about enough. Time to come back. They wanna call the bluff. Okay then, time to come back. What up? Hail King Huey, do it for fluid, you knew it was moving forever. Loop it, the truth is the movement was really too clever. Who is the newest to do it, pursuing a useless, polluted agenda? Too long to get they bullshit together, 50 years about enough. Patient, gave him a 2-year grace. 6-6 came, then they saw the true face. Black on black irate. Had them all running scared straight out the gate. Skin do show you who can, that's it though. What's nice inside beat. Never been too simple. Syrup, he sip cause he can't taste his own. Queen Angela done told y'all, grasp at the root. So what y'all talking about? Hands up, don't shoot. Look back.
Oh, interesting. I gotta pause it here. So there's a lot of references here that I think I understand, but so Queen Angela done told you grasp at the root. So what are you talking about? Hands up, don't shoot. And Queen Angela Davis is a prominent social activist, feminist member of the Black Panther Party. This reference to her quotation, radical simply means grasping things at the root. This is itself a reference to Karl Marx quotation from 1843 manuscript. To be radical is to grasp the root of the matter, but for man, the root is man himself. Now, let's get this other part. What are you talking about? Hands up, don't shoot. Diggs critiques the Black Lives Matter movement and demands to know if not being shot is the most that can be asked for. Yeah, exactly. He shows that violence may be necessary to end white supremacy. It's worth noting that this stance is not completely in line with what Angela Davis believes. She said that in some ways the Black Lives Matter movement is more successful than the Black Panther Party. It was an absolutely brilliant move on the part of Huey Newton to police the police. At the same time, the strategy reflected a failure to recognize that the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house, which is a very good point. I appreciate the more complicated analysis that is embraced by many BLM activists because it precisely reflects a historical mindedness that is able to build upon, embrace, and radically critique activisms and anti-racist theories of the past. I like what David's saying, though, is asking to not be shot the most we can do. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say we, but yeah. And then you've got this thing in here. Where the fuck is it? Patient gave him 2-year grace. 6/6 came and they saw the true face. So I think that's Martin Luther King, right? Oh, I see. Referencing the Civil Rights Act of 64 and then the founding of the Black Panthers in 66. Okay. Black Panther Party featured black people in black clothes, expressing their discontent with racist America. Nothing could have been calculated to make white America more uncomfortable. In fact, an armed protest by the Black Panther Party was the genesis for the Mulford Act, a Republican-sponsored law passed in California to ban the carrying of loaded firearms in public. Aggrieved black people in possession of the power to defend themselves. Aggrieved? So terrified the white establishment that Republicans introduced and passed gun control legislation. Skin do show who you can. That's it, though. What's inside never been too simple. This is a great fucking track. There's a lot going on in here. Hail to King Huey. Huey P. Newton was a political activist that co-founded the Black Panther Party. I know nothing about the Black Panthers. Because, just like he's saying, this is not the shit we were taught in kindergarten. Right? Where was that? Where was that line at? I don't know. I lost it already. Oh, right here. Yeah. This ain't the shit they taught you when you went to kindergarten. There's so much shit American history that I don't know. I've learned probably in the last 5 years because I wasn't taught it. I wasn't taught it. Let's keep rolling. That was a long pause. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep hearing this track.
Fist in the sky if you ready. Dice are old like confetti. They thought you was playing. No, really, the game was more training. They're finna be. And much of it blue. Time to fly, cause you know time fickle. So cold, finna snow, swing an icicle. Taking out a police or a politician issuing a statement saying turning out a dime against a nickel. And it ain't just money. B, this ain't honey. Sweet, but it's funny to think of them wanting to speak when this pain is deep and ingrained in. Brother Malcolm done told y'all by any means. So what y'all talking about? All on the same team.
Fucking A, man. These pre-chorus bits are amazing. Brother Malcolm done told you all by any means. So what are you talking about? All on the same team. What's this? Geronimo Erica Gregory with faces in every book, record, or CD, even made the NPCs laced with blood. Black Panthers, Geronimo Pratt, Erica Huggins, targeted by FBI, served 27 years on murder charges, which were vacated when it was revealed that the prosecution had concealed evidence that affected the verdict. He was also the godfather of Tupac Shakur. Okay, what's this other bit here? American and modern society is founded on the blood of black people, as Lupe Fiasco said on Friend of the People. Diggs, I'm not going to read that quote right there. Diggs refers specifically to art here, especially music. Okay, sure. That black music, right? That crack music. What's the track, Kanye? Crack, was it crack music? I can't remember. Off of Late Registration, I believe. There's a lot going on here lyrically. And I really like it. And I don't want to, not dig into it, but I feel like I'm going to spend 20 minutes on that track and on this track, and maybe that's okay. Taking out a police or a politician issuing a statement saying, "Turn it on a dime or get the nickel." Turn it on a dime or get the nickel. And I feel like I should know that phrase. Turning the state's evidence is known as dropping a dime, right? Snitching. I understand that. The alternative to giving authorities information they want could be a prison sentence with a minimum of 5 years. A nickel. Okay. So drop the dime on somebody, rat them out, or get 5 years in prison. Okay, that makes sense. Additional layers from digs are not uncommon. Yeah. Okay, well, let's keep going. And it ain't just money. This ain't honey. Sweet. Nice crossover there. But it's funny to think of them wanting to speak when this pain is deep and ingrained in blood. Drink it up, dress it down, queen shit, wear the crown, king shit, wear the wounds. Yeah, the wounds of stigmata, the wounds of Christ, right. Mixing of religious imagery here. Long-ass annotations. I want to get into this next part. New blood in the wombs. Loose noose, clear the tombs. Bubble goose, suede shoes. Looking like a who's who of the dead. Come back, bust ahead, run track to the red. Black suit, black hair, black wings, black stare. Blackout for the hood. And in the dark, flap on the full moon, asking if you knew the possession that grew when unmasked, because they were never seeing the basics. And then it drops into that thing about there. Fist in the sky. Huh. Let's keep going. This is fucking intense.
Look back. Blood on the ground. Look straight. They still shooting. Jump back. They're still here. Now what that tell you about death? Death ain't shit. You got to drink it up.
They're existing and addicted to
Drink it up.
They're existing and addicted to blood.
Everybody wanna kill a movement for the moment, but they cannot kill what cannot die. There wasn't ever really an opponent for what they figured was only 3/5 human, and they thought they could enslave by disconnecting for the truth. But look, your brother George is back again and never did look fine. I said it's time to gather up another meeting of the Eyez. Said they quit and could have killed him in America. Can't either, and he been sleeping since 71. Ain't it time to feed her? Really sip a little something. He up in a Cadillac with Lil Bobby Hutton. Riding shoddy with their shotty, swooping up the cousins. They still whooping for your blood. Bobby Seal is at the door, but then we group up at the club. And brother Elder just keeping souls on ice till the time was just right now. Suffices memory, got the scene drawn up nice. And a feeny here with pocket. Thug life, Kathleen, black and beautiful as a model. Was out up in here sipping the bloody Captain Cubano with Hill and on the seat next to a baby sitting in the ride, waiting for him to say something. Flying that mother following to the night. Let it swallow eyes on the sparrow tomorrow. You know the mirror is hollow when night is airing. The callers out to the rest of the model of effervescence when all of it manifested. They never bothered to question while calling for the arrest to murder. Guess they never knew it was a test to best. Assess the way to moving and digest the flesh of every wicked human to the best. And black is blood is back to ruling Prince Stokely. Done told y'all, have no fear. So how come every time they be like, yeah, y'all look scared?
That's an incredible track. I feel like there's a lot of layers. I mean, just within the song, there's all this shit going on, but I feel like there's a lot of layers that are playing out right now in the album, because you've got that possession thing with the person being hypnotized and the idea of the dark, the dark master coming into that person's body, right, as a vessel. And then you've got All in Your Head, which is more or less saying God is a pimp, or religion, maybe just not necessarily God, but maybe religion, the religious structure is kind of like a pimp hoe relationship. And now you've got this, the addiction to blood. And let's see if I can just talk through it, because I'm hearing all this for the first time and trying to make sense of it and take it in. And you've got the idea of communion and forgiveness of sins, but you've got these pre-choruses with David basically saying, what are you talking about, working together or forgiving people or whatever, like when your previous leader said this and now you're saying something almost completely opposite in terms of trying to strive for, I don't know if you want to call it equality or the end of racism. I don't know if you ever end racism. I don't know. I mean, we hear about it all the time in America, and there's a lot of focus on that, obviously, but it's all over the fucking planet. So I don't know if that ever goes away, but that doesn't mean you don't try and stop it, I suppose. But this idea, this addiction to blood, because there's so many layers just in that statement, right? The addiction to blood is in the addiction to violence and the violent cycles that go through American history because of racism, because of gang violence, because of drug addiction, which is something that was played earlier in Club Down. Blood of the Fang, this is a brilliant fucking track, obviously, in its own right. But where it's placed in the album is brilliant as well, because it's like a culmination of everything that's been building up. Even with just the torture aspects. Some of these tracks, what was it? The Show, right? It's just very torturous. Blood. So I feel like the addiction to blood, like we're finally, with it being called Blood of the Fang, which was the reference to the movie. I forgot the movie there. This is great. Like, this is a great just culmination of everything we've been pinging on our path to here on the album. Fucking brilliant. Drink it up. Drink it up. And, you know, I look at these lines here from the post-chorus. Drink it up. Drink it up. The addiction to blood. Drink it up. Drink it up. And I feel like this chorus can apply to basically every topic from every track. You know, to the drug house being shot up, right? You know, drink it up. Drink it up. That need to conduct that kind of lifestyle and be gangster. And so Club Down, that's when it gets into, yeah, drink it up. Drink it up. These people that are going to the clubs and getting drunk and stumbling around. And how it's, I don't know, a parallel to the, you know, the drug addiction problem, but the people who are addicted to drugs, they're just smoking it up, you know, they're strung out on that shit. And this is fucking wild. This is really impressive. I didn't expect this. And I have no idea how accurate I am, right? I could be way off base, but as I'm trying to like take this all in, I feel like there's lots of nodes that are connecting right now, just in my mind and just in the album. Fucking impressive. And then the flow, I mean, the production on this track is incredible. The flow that's blowing through here, I wanted to see this. How come every time they'd be like, yak, yak, yak? Because that reminds me of Mad City. Oh, okay, that's Schoolboy Q's signature ad-lib for the sound of a gunshot. Okay, and maybe that's why it was in the track Mad City. Diggs bridges throughout the song, moving steadily from resistance to revolution. Yep, he opens with a gentle criticism, hands up, don't shoot. I don't think that was a gentle criticism. I think that was an outright criticism. Oh, shit. I clicked off and it went away. Before interrogating Obama's hopeful post-racial liberalism, in his final bridge, he questions why those on the side of the righteous have any fear of death in the face of violent oppression. The thesis of the track certainly implies that death ain't shit. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Fucking really interesting. And there's so much going on in this third verse. I was thinking about it as he was just ripping through here like a fucking lightning bolt. I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to try and dissect this now in this video. What I'll do is I'll find videos that are talking about this song and help break it down so I can understand it more. Because I don't want to spend 45 minutes here now in this video. I mean, I'm almost 2 hours in with still at least two tracks to go. So let's keep moving. Incredible track. Blood of the Fang is fucking incredible. And what a great track on its own, and what a great point for the album entirely. Track 13 is called Story 7. Let's drop in and check this one out.
Kimberly couldn't believe what she was seeing. Video was grainy, but she could make out his face. It clearly had to be Steve. Hadn't seen him in maybe what? It couldn't be more than a couple days. Who was this bitch on her knees? She was not even pretty. Fuck, he better not still be up in the place. She fishing around for her keys. Check the locket is broken and impatiently, a scowl on her face. Kimberly opens the door. She wasn't ready, drops the keys, drops to the ground and tries to catch her breath. Steve was still there on the floor. Cynthia strolling through the moonlight.
What the
fully
fuck
wiping
is
the blood
this?
from the corner of her mouth. Cynthia knew Steve wouldn't do right from the moment when he had said that he wouldn't need her out. Cynthia singing on a blue night, temporarily satisfied, but she knew that wouldn't last. Cynthia steps into the brew. Randy wouldn't get paid in the space that he needed every dollar that this little job could make. The bookies were calling with more regularity. He would rather keep his kneecap still unbroken. Thank you if it's all the same shit. Nothing had changed. He was the definition of in a rut anyway. Job well done. He saunters on into the brew right pub. The spot pretty jumping. He spies a seat at the bar, orders a scotch and feels a gentle hand on his back, and he turns to meet the eyes of a woman who tells him her name is Cynthia. Cross-legged at the bar now, holding up a drink.
So this is cool. It's just a story, right? Some girl thinks her boyfriend's fucking cheating on him, hires a private detective. The other girl is a vampire and just killed the dude and went to the bar to pass the time, which is where the private investigator is now. So let's keep going. Let's see how this story unfolds.
And now she's pulling up a dress, and he grabbing on her breast, and she start to see the throbbing in his veins, and she get ready for the best. Just in the cab, he pulled a taxi over quick. Click, pop, pop, silver flashes mixed with red, and that was it. Cynthia looks straight into a doom now. Little Trina watches everything that happens down below with us and scream at. Cynthia is howling at the moon now. Tomorrow Trina's gonna wake up wondering if it was really all a dream.
What the fuck? Trippy. Trippy. So little Trina watches everything that happens down below but doesn't scream. Cynthia's howling at the moon. Trina's going to wake up wondering if it was all a dream. Is Trinia like her previous victim? Trinia is possibly a reference to Katrina from Story 4. Is Story 4 on this album? No. Okay. These lyrics are most likely simultaneously a retelling of her assault and her watching Cynthia get shot from her bedroom. So I'm assuming Trina is somebody Cynthia crossed paths with before this. Cool. God, I want to hear the other stories. The cab driver fucking kills her with some silver bullets. Oh, and you know what? You know, so verse 3, you know, do I have to pay? No, this one's free. Okay, she's licked her lips, start biting. I was like, what's crazy about this, between the bites and the kisses, is he ain't been in a taxi since back when he lost his sister. Is his sister Trina? Grace dies. Okay, no, not Trina. Okay, that would have been an interesting little twist in the story. Okay, that was cool. That was just like this neat little story. All right. Let's move on to track 14, which is called Attunement, featuring Pedestrian Deposit, produced by Clipping and John Borges. All right, let's drop in. Track 14, Attunement. Jesus. So for those of you who are too young to remember, this is exactly what it sounded like when you would use a dial-up modem. Exactly like this. That's not true, but that's what it felt like every time you fucking dialed into goddamn America Online to do some chat rooms.
A meditation. Turn the lights off.
What the fuck?
Come on and rock. Back to the edge, then up to the tip. It's not. Nice, the ropes are tight enough to hold but never burn. That would defeat the purpose, nothing beneath the surface. The surface is just in service of holding the form. Cursed, the shape is so inescapable. Bet it would burn, bet it would hurt. And there's the rub, the red, and the flesh is fine, but the fire on the skin is not. Is it possible not get caught up in the thoughts about whether or not to stop before the damage done is irreversible but isn't terminal? Shit, goddammit, loosen the grip. What if you do? What did you do? What did she say? She was nice but ain't shit. Made a mean bowl of rice and then dipped, and the drip is literal. He's slipping away from the fingertips. It would cripple a man in a minute if a man could have had a reason to live.
What the fuck, man?
Back to the edge, then up to the tip, it's not.
I love this background sound that's building.
Never burn. That would defeat the purpose. Nothing beneath the surface. Shit.
Hold on. I want to go back to this verse here. Verse 2. I don't really understand what's going on here. Back to the edge, then up to the tip, it's not. Nice, the ropes are tight enough. Okay. The surface is just in service of holding the form. Cursed. The shape is so inescapable, bet it would burn, bet it would hurt. And there's the rub, right, which is like rubbing on the ropes that are too tight. The red in the flesh is fine, but the fire on the skin is not. Is it possible to not get caught up in the thoughts about whether or not to stop before the damage is done is irreversible but isn't terminal? Shit, goddammit, loosen the grip. Come on and rock, back the edge, then up to the tip. It's not nice to ropes. Is this like some like weird bondage track or something like that? Verse 2 is what really fucking flipped me over backwards here. I don't know what the hell's going on. In earnest, you should just let go before the damage is done. Irreversible, but isn't terminal. Shit, goddammit, loosen the grip. But then the body could slip. The plastic body busy being a building built on the basis of never knowing it's nothing. But what if you do? What did you do? What did she say? She was nice but ain't shit. Made a mean bowl of rice and then dipped. And the drip is literally slipping away from the fingertips. What the fuck is going on? Double entendre. Drip refers to both jewelry and the drip of blood from attempted suicide, both falling off the hands as the character slips out of consciousness. I don't know about that one. It could cripple a man in a minute if a man could have had a reason to live. All right, let's keep listening with verse 3.
She laughed at that, right on, passed out with a light on, pissed off with a python, like grip on an armchair like a pylon, pounding at the rhythm in the bygone era. The bylaws of which must state something of copulation. And can't you just say fuck? Could there be less conversation? Or none, please, in the dungarees, just below the needs to be no appeasing anything basic or beautiful. Just simple deed done simply, no symphony serving up timpani, no infamy, just a grim repeat to get away from what you need. Turn the lights off when you leave.
What the fuck?
Rock, back to the edge, then up to the tip, it's not. Nice, the ropes are tight enough to hold but never burn. That would defeat the purpose, nothing beneath the surface.
This is one of the craziest songs I've ever heard.
Looking over the edge ain't the win. Why the jump scare? You've been saying you hated this skin. Why you stuck there?
I love the beat. I love the production that's going on, man.
And then compare. If it's better to never be in with the sun there. Shouldn't be so hard to be a part and be a part of us. Nice, the ropes are tight enough to hold but never burn. That would defeat the purpose, nothing beneath the surface.
What the fuck, man? Oh my god. Oh shit. I don't fucking... Okay. You win this round, Clipping. You win this round. God, I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, I like this final verse. I like that it's slower. I'm having a hard time making sense of what this track is about. But come on and rock, back to the edge, and then up to the tip. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm envisioning now with this verse, especially when he says, "Looking over the edge ain't the drop." Why the screw face? Oh, is it playing? Oh, here's the piano version. I thought I paused it. You've been saying you want it to stop. Why don't you take one more step and let God or what you make up in your head stir the pot while you lose faith? So I picture this person at the edge looking down, right? Which makes that chorus line, come on and rock back to the edge. That makes more sense. Shouldn't be so hard to be a part and be part of the ether. Shouldn't need to start or need a part to be a pardon neither. You are not a body. Bodies aren't often heartless creatures. Looking over the edge ain't the wind. Why the jump scare? You've been saying you hated this. So on this portion of this verse, I felt like the song kind of came into shape because David slows his flow down and it gives it a much more of a kind of a haunting / taunting / hesitant feel rather than when he was going really, really fast. Like I felt like that speed, while there was nothing wrong with that, I mean, it's really impressive he can go that fast. The slower speed, in my mind, matches the image a lot better of somebody being on the edge and contemplating this thing. One more step to the wind and then compare if it's better to never begin or if there's sun there. Shouldn't be so hard to be a part and be part of dust. Shouldn't need to start or need to start believing in the thing you trust. Shouldn't be restarting evenings to receive a piece of crust. You are not a body. You're a metal shell and you can see the rust. Fucking wild. Wild. This part where he was just tearing through verse 2, or verse 3. No idea. I couldn't. I was reading the lyrics. I couldn't fucking keep up for the life of me. Pounding out the rhythm in a bygone era, but the bylaws of which must state something of copulation. And can't you just say fuck? Could there be less conversation? Or numb release in the dungarees, shoot below the knees. There'd be no appeasing anything, base, sacred, beautiful. Just simple deeds done simply. No symphony serving up timpani. No infamy, just a grim repeat to get away from what you need. Turn the lights off when you leave. Fuck, man. I don't know. So this last track is an instrumental. It's 18 minutes long. I was going to make a joke about how, I'm just going to skip it, expecting it to be a song and like to piss people off, right? But I'm planning on skipping this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this play a little bit. I'm going to bounce around and see if anything actually happens here. Or if it literally is just 18 minutes of a piano. Oh, wow. Oh, what the fuck? This is actually slightly interesting. I was expecting this to just literally be something weird. Well, I guess that's what this is something weird, but... I guess that's the strings breaking loose inside of the piano. I've never burnt a piano before. This is my first time, everyone. First time with a piano burning. I'm just advancing through. Huh. Yeah. It's just 18 minutes of a piano burning. Okay. Well, there we go. Fuck, man. That was a hell of a ride. I don't know what to say. Blood of the Fang is incredible. Holy shit. What a way to bring everything that was just kind of, you know, the first 5 or 6 songs, 7 songs, I was like, okay, there's something forming here, but it wasn't obvious to me. And I felt like maybe I was trying to force it to happen, but when you get to Blood of the Fang, and that's the whole... I feel like it's all these things that are somewhat scattered about, just being connected. Which is pretty neat. And the fucking lyrics are incredible, and the flow is incredible, and the production is incredible. That's an incredible song. That's an incredible song. That was fucking great. I wish it was dark. I wish it was nighttime, and I was doing this. I can't do it at night. It's very... Well, I could probably try and do it like on a Friday night, but then you guys aren't seeing this until Saturday, which kind of sucks, but... This was incredible. The production... I feel like the production was perfect. Every now and then I'll get into some talks about, like with drummers or guitarists or any type of, you know, instrument that's being played and how important it is that they serve the song. You know, when you have a slow, mellow, emotional song, you're not going... You know, the same thing with the drums, right? Like you have to play to what the song is supposed to do. And I feel like throughout this entire album, the production is doing exactly what it needs to do to support the theme, the aesthetic, the lyrics, you know, just everything that's going on. Fucking great. And it's patient. It doesn't just jump in with a bunch of like sound. Well, sometimes it does, but often there's a lot of just building and waiting and letting the music build in how it needs to build in. Fucking really cool. Really cool album. I already want to do the other one now. The visions of bodies being burned, because there was even a lyric somewhere in here where it was talking about visions and bodies and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I already want to hear the other story tracks. Like I want to hear all of these story tracks and put it together. That was fucking fun. 2 hours and 5 minutes. I had no idea that it was going to take that long. Well, I should just start expecting that now. Honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. Huh. Trippy. And I need to watch like a breakdown of Blood of the Fang, because there's a lot that's happening, and it's more than just references. It's like it's references to tracks and society and religion and, you know, toxic relationships and all kinds of shit, being hypnotized. I mean, there's a lot going on there. Huh. All right, well, I'm just going to soak in that for a while. That was fucking incredible. Yeah, that was great. That was great.